Good morning from Shasta Community Health Center. It's time for a Storytime Wednesday, and my name is Chelsea. I'm a community health worker here, and today we're going to be reading the book Kamie Cat's Terrible Night. Do you have any pets at home, a cat or a dog? I have a few cats at home, so I thought this would be a very fun book. So, Kamie Cat's Terrible Night was written and illustrated by Sheila Hamanaka. One night, Kamie Cat noticed something unusual. There was no screen in the kitchen window. A sliver of a moon, no wider than a cat's whisker, barely lit the alley behind the house she shared with old Mr. Wong. Music and the delicious smell of fried fish floated in on the night air. Someone was having a party. Kamie had never been to a party, and fish was her favorite food. Quicker than a wink, Kamie Cat went out through the open window. It was a big mistake. From the other end of the alley, Kamie saw a big black shape charging toward her. A dog! He or she was barking like crazy. Kamie ran. She ran through one backyard and then another. She ran up a tree, but unfortunately, it was a small tree. The dog jumped up and knocked her to the ground. Kamie Cat landed on her feet and ran right into the street. Oh no. Something even bigger and faster than the dog was headed right toward her. It had two big eyes, each one brighter than the full moon. Kamie ran and climbed over fences, garbage cans, and gazebos. Fortunately, the dog and the thing with big yellow eyes were gone. Unfortunately, Kamie was lost and lonely. How she missed her best friend, Mr. Wong. There's the car chasing Kamie. And there's Kamie going over the gazebos. In Kamie's neighborhood, all the little houses looked the same. Was this her house? Kamie peeked inside. Yum! A woman was serving her cat fresh food and water in clean bowls. Meow, Kamie yowled. I'm hungry too. She's hungry. The woman looked up, but instead of inviting Kamie to dinner, she yelled, "Shoo, go away!" On the next block, she peeked into another window. Inside, a little boy was brushing a cat with a soft brush. Kamie sighed. Mr. Wong brushed her every day. Kamie almost meowed, but she remembered how the lady had yelled at her, so she kept going. Do you brush your cat? Or dog? They love to be brushed. It was very late now. At the next house, Kamie saw two cats curling up in a nice round cat bed. Mr. Wong had made Kamie a bed from an old basket. How she missed her soft, warm bed. There's Kamie in her cat bed next to Mr. Wong. Sadly, Kamie moved on to the next house. But it wasn't their house. Inside, a cat was scratching the arm of a sofa. A man who was sitting across the room began to yell. Then he threw a slipper at the cat. Kamie frowned. Mr. Wong always made sure that she had a scratching post. He knew that cats need to scratch, and he never, ever yelled at Kamie. He never hit Kamie either or threw anything at her, even if she made a mistake. Mr. Wong was kind. Kamie ran away from that house. Kamie hid under some bushes. She began to cry. "Here, kitty," someone said in a soft voice. A young woman bent over and picked Kamie up. "I think you are lost," she said. In the morning, the woman took Kamie to an animal shelter. Can you find Kamie in the bushes? That was nice that the woman took her to the animal shelter. "We're a bit crowded, but come on in," the veterinarian at the shelter said. "No tag?" he said to Kamie. "How are we supposed to know where you live?" "I think she's old," said the young woman. "Yes," said the veterinarian, "and most people want to adopt cute little kittens," he added. She looks kind of scruffy." Wouldn't you say? Excuse me. "No, I would say she looks beautiful," a voice called out. "And old is good. An old friend is the best friend of all." It was Mr. Wong. He had come to the shelter to look for her. Kamie meowed for joy. "I'm sorry," said Mr. Wong. "I'm sorry I forgot to put the screen in the window, and I'm sorry I didn't give you a collar with a tag on it so people would know where you live. It will never happen again." There's Kamie and Mr. Wong reunited. That night, Kamie and Mr. Wong sat in the kitchen after a fine dinner of fried fish. The moon was no wider than 2 cat whiskers, and the alley behind the little house was quiet and dark. And the only thing that went out the window was the sound of Mr. Wong's guitar and Kamie Cat's purr as she hummed along. The end. Thanks for joining us today. Have a fabulous Wednesday.